Hello everyone and welcome to this first introductory video for the EU-funded ACE project. ACE stands for Access to Capital for Community Energy, and its main goal is precisely that, to help citizens access the necessary funding for community energy projects through the creation of cutting-edge financing tools called Community Energy Financing Schemes, or CEFS. This video will be the first of 4 small capsules containing basic information that will help you better understand the ACE project. ACE kicked off in November 2022 and will run for 3 years. It is made up of a consortium of 8 project partners and 1 partner collaborator. 3 of the participating organizations have previous experience in designing and managing CEFS that have funded successful energy transition projects before. The project seeks to expand these existing CEFs, but also create new ones in Europe, as well as creating a European intermediary organization to facilitate access to EU capital and funds. Eventually, the project aims to trigger the investment of 90 million euros of citizen money. During the first 6 months of ACE, the project partners focused on identifying and analyzing existing community energy financing tools in Europe, which resulted in a database and a report with the best practices to be considered in the process of setting up a CEFS. The step we are working on right now involves creating a series of guides and tools necessary for energy communities or public authorities to set up their own CEFS. Once the toolbox is available to everyone, the project will focus on replicating new CEFs in 5 pilot countries, but also on expanding the ones already up and running in France and the Netherlands. Last but not least, the EU intermediary will be created. This video will focus on the work already done in ACE to date. But before telling you about the first steps of the project, it is worth defining a number of concepts that may not be clear to everyone. For instance, the term community energy is often mentioned, but what exactly does it refer to? Community energy projects are those led by energy communities and local actors. And what is an energy community? If we follow European law, renewable energy communities are legal entities, such as associations or cooperatives, that organize collective and citizen-driven energy actions that help pave the way for a clean energy transition while moving citizens to the fore. These communities also have the potential to provide direct benefits to citizens by increasing energy efficiency, lowering their electricity bills, and creating local job opportunities. The main advantage of this type of citizen initiatives over more corporate-driven ones is the social impact they have at the local level, bringing people and local authorities together, raising awareness on climate change actions, hiring local companies, etc., while citizens retain control and decision-making authority. A study in 2019 by project partner Energie Partageé shows that per €1 invested in community energy projects, €2.5 return back to the local economy. Another study by the Technical University of Denmark reveals that citizen energy initiatives could enable large investment in green energy, enough to achieve a 32% renewable energy source share by 2030, aiding in the fight against climate change. With each passing day, energy communities require significant and growing financial resources to meet the needs of their own energy transition projects. However, there is a mismatch between the traditional financial sector and the needs of these communities, one of the main reasons being the high level of risk inherent to the development stage of community-owned projects. This means that the initial investment must come from the community members themselves in the form of share capital, and often results in potential projects being blocked due to the lack of internal resources. This, added to the lack of professionals among project leaders and the fact that the scale of projects is usually smaller than private ones and therefore less profitable, results in a lack of motivation for traditional investors to fund community energy projects. In short, they are key players in building an economic and productive system that is totally disconnected from the real needs of the planet, the people, and the real economy. But not all is lost. Innovative ways of financing community energy projects have arisen here and there across Europe, with regional and national energy cooperatives leading the way to a barrier-free financing for community-owned initiatives. Successful examples of these financing tools can be found in France and the Netherlands, where they have already helped several citizen initiatives fund their energy transition projects, creating sort of a bicycle highway that eliminates the barriers for anyone willing to drive on it. In ACE, we have named these financing tools for community-based energy transition projects CEFS, which stands for Community Energy Financing Schemes. But what differentiates a CEFS from other traditional financing mechanisms? Well, to answer this question, we need to look at the level of control citizens have both in the CEFS and in the finance projects and organizations, as well as the community benefit obtained from those projects. Following this line of thinking, we have identified 5 dimensions to be considered when identifying a CEFS: the target investment, the institution managing the CEFS, the source of the money invested by the CEFS, the type of financial product offered, and the knowledge-sharing mechanisms involved. One of the main examples of a successful CEFS can be found in France, where the non-profit organization Energie Partageé manages 2 schemes that have funded several projects in the past. That is the case of Solaris Civis, a solar park in southern France which happens to be the biggest fully citizen-owned project in the country, and in which the Energie Partageé investment fund has helped not only in the financing part, but also by giving advice and support in different areas, such as communication or loan negotiations with banks. It has also been key in facilitating the partnership of the citizens collective and the municipality. In that sense, Solaris Civis is a great example of how a citizen movement can partner up with a public institution to carry out a major project. Alright, now that we have a basic understanding of certain concepts, it is time to focus on the first phases of ACE carried out to date. The first necessary step was describing the status quo on community energy financing mechanisms in Europe. This meant we needed not only to identify and classify the already existing tools, but also select the ones that met our criteria of what a CEFS must be for further analysis. The result of this process was the database of identified financing tools that can be downloaded from the project website. The main conclusions we drew from the process of identifying and analyzing financing mechanisms linked to community energy in Europe were the following. The first and probably most important one is the scarcity of financing schemes fully meeting the criteria of CEFS and therefore meeting the specific needs for financing of energy communities across Europe, limiting citizen projects to small-scale installations. Secondly, that an enabling framework condition is crucial for this kind of schemes to arise and succeed. And last but not least, that the lack of European solutions also highlights the need to develop a pan-European financing organization that will facilitate the creation and complement the operation of CEFS at national level. As mentioned above, one of the main goals of the ACE project is to create such organization. Once the existing CEFS in Europe have been identified, the next mandatory step will be to contact them to find out the reasons for their success, but also to learn about the barriers they have encountered throughout their existence. We will talk about this in the last episode of this series of short ACE videos. But before that happens, on the next episode of these short videos, we will get to know better one of the main examples of successful CEFS in Europe. In the Netherlands, the development fund managed by Energie Samen has successfully funded numerous citizen-led energy transition projects in their initial stages. If you want to know their story, stay tuned for more videos through our networks and website. Thanks for your attention. Goodbye.